When most people think of a cruise port day in Jamaica, they picture climbing waterfalls, snorkeling reefs, or going on some wild excursion. But when we docked in Falmouth, we had absolutely zero plans. I was just getting comfortable on Oasis of the Seas and figured the absolute best time to enjoy the ship is when everyone else gets off. We were just gonna stay on board, but Adric needed some pool goggles. So our grand Jamaican excursion turned into a quick mission to the port to find a pair.
Okay, let's go under.
All right, day 4 of the cruise. Doing a little bathroom confessions here because the family's taking a nap and this is my man space, okay? I don't have a balcony this cruise, so it's my man space. Cheers. Well, let's talk a little bit about how Falmouth, Jamaica went for us today.
We are in Falmouth, Jamaica. We have been to this port before. The last time we were here, we did go snorkeling, but we opted to just kind of walk around the port this time. The port last time really wasn't much to it, just a bunch of stores. So we'll see what today brings. But this morning we got up, Adric and I tried to go to Johnny Rockets again for breakfast, and since it's a port day, it closed at 9, so missed that for day 2 in a row. But we went to the Windjammer. It was okay. Back to the room for breakfast. Yeah, walked around the Windjammer for a long time, and there were no seats. We're not getting lucky on the breakfasts. We came back to the room to get around because I had booked laser tag.
So we started off our day with some laser tag.
It was at Studio B.
It's completely free. You show up and they have this inflatable maze in the ice rink.
It was like a big castle area. It was really cool. So we had to like wait for a little bit in these seats. And then when we got in there, we put on our vests. We got our like laser guns.
And I got my laser tag gun in my hand. I'm thinking, I'm about to smoke these little punks.
Pew!
They go through the rules, tell us all the rules, all that stuff, and then they divide you into 2 separate teams. Now, these are random teams that they divide you in, so you don't really know if you're going to be with your family or not.
So Adric was not on our team, so that made it a little more fun too.
And they give us like 10 seconds to load up into the maze.
And we went in and we played.
And then we just go at it. It's an all-out war. An all-out laser tag war. Well, I was scared.
Pew pew. I just started shooting.
Bunch of young punks ganging up on me. I'm running around screaming like a little girl, like, ah!
Oh my gosh, it was so fun.
It was super, super, super fun.
I don't know if it was fun because I rocked at it, but I got second place out of all of those youngsters.
The things people will do just to win, right?
I'm not a cheater.
Nobody got second place, okay, guys? For sure not my mom.
Yeah, I didn't do too well. I think I was like 5th place.
We won. We won.
We do wish it would have been a little bit longer. It was scheduled for 30 minutes, but the total was about 12. But
super glad we did it. That was cool. Down in Studio B. Check it out. It's on your cruise. Check it out.
we had talked about going to the pools, then getting off the ship later, but we were walking and I'm like, you know what, let's just get off the ship now. And then once we get on the ship, we'll be on the ship for the rest of the day. So everybody was agreeable to that. But we got off the ship and started just kind of walking around the port.
Haven't been here in a couple years, so want to check it out. We could see from the ship that the roofs were all tore up. There was definitely some damage done by Hurricane Melissa towards the end of 2025. I thought we were just going to walk around the port. We were looking for some goggles for Adric because he broke his on this cruise. I feel like this happens every single cruise we go on. Adric, he breaks his goggles and we have to go out and find some new ones. And that's what we were doing today.
And then I wanted a hat for Adric. We wanted a sun hat instead of a baseball cap. So on the hunt for that. So it was exactly how I remembered it. Just a bunch of shops, some music, food in the middle, little shops that sell food and drinks. But then I saw the exit of the port and I saw Falmouth, the town. So I'm like, let's go. Let's just get out of the port. Let's go walk around.
So this time we actually left the gates and went through the local shops. And yeah, there's not much going on in Falmouth.
Yeah, man.
When you got out of the port, the locals were all standing around there trying to get you to get in their taxis and that kind of stuff. Everybody was very respectful.
Yeah, a bunch of people coming up to us, asking us to buy things, like the usual that you'll have.
There was lots of little shops. Everybody's like, come into my shop, come into my shop. Some of them were pushier than others. Found a hat for Adric, a nice guy that was selling it, and then found me a hat at another spot. So one of the older gentlemen struck up a really nice conversation with us, and we just stood there and talked to him for a while. I told him we were looking at places in Jamaica to go, but probably not the year to do it, and he said basically that's the bread and the butter for their economy, along with the farmland, which now is ruined. So he said that the government put all the money into making the touristy areas clean and back into place so that the tourists can come still. So it sounds like that's all taken care of. So hopefully those of you that are looking to go to like Montego Bay, Negril, those kind of things, still go, because they still need tourists and they still need people to come spend their money here.
This was actually our first time stepping outside the terminal gates and into the historic town of Falmouth. And honestly, from what we saw, there really isn't much to it. If you aren't booking a paid excursion, it's really not worth wandering into the town. Falmouth is basically a purpose-built port, meaning there's actually way more to do, eat, and see inside of the gates than outside of them. Like Brandy mentioned earlier, the local we talked to straight up told us the same thing, that there's nothing to do right in town, and you have to leave the area to really see anything. So taking his word for it, we decided to head back inside the gates and finish our main mission for the day.
So we headed back to get on the ship.
Walked around the port a bit.
And we found the goggles actually in port and checked out the craft area. We kind of walked around there. Some of the stuff is pretty cool.
Circled around it. We didn't really check too much out. Already been there. Kind of know what these ports all usually the same kind of stuff, right? Once you've been there once, you kind of know what to expect. So we just kind of circled around and
headed back to the ship.
Got back on the ship because we weren't trying to make a whole day out of it. We wanted to kind of enjoy the ship being less populated.
We came back in and we went upstairs to the 15th floor and found us a spot by the pool. There were some empty chairs basically right down by the pool, which was nice. Swam for a while.
Okay, let's go under.
Adric got a mudslide and he loved it. I got a rum runner. It was so good. But yeah, the drinks were so good there by the pool today. The service, they were busy. So 2 of the slides are down and only 1 is open. Adric's little buddy said that he was told that those 2 are down for maintenance, but also because they don't have enough staff. That seems to be an issue everywhere, I'm sure. But we're gonna do the slides tomorrow is my plan, because I want to do the slides really bad. I'm like a little kid. I want to do all the slides. I want to do the dry slides. I want to do the zip line. I want to do the rock climbing wall. Anything like that. Ice skating. Sign me up. I want to do it. We'll see. Maybe I can talk Adric into doing the slide with me.
Nope.
He says no. He told me about 25 minutes ago that maybe. Now it's a no. But I also find it very interesting that he can hear me with his earbuds in, because every other time I talk to him with his earbuds in, he pretends like he can't hear me. Huh?
I don't have one in.
Oh, you have one in and not the other. Okay. I'll give you that one. We decided to have a late lunch today since we had a good time in the pool. So we went to a Loco Fresh.
Now, this was our first time eating here.
I've heard great things.
Complimentary Mexican joint on the ship. They had 2 separate lines that you go through, make up some nachos. They have pre-made burritos, chicken, beef, quesadillas, different Mexican sides to choose from. And then they have like a toppings bar with basically all the toppings that you want, all the stuff. I got a beef burrito.
This beef burrito is a monster.
A chicken quesadilla, and a side of Spanish rice.
Adric got a chicken burrito.
When Brandy went up, she got some nachos.
Give me a nacho, mama.
A burrito, a soft taco.
Lean your back.
Carnitas.
Get it, mama.
And I got some rice. I did not eat all of it. It was way too much food. But it was pretty good.
Great experience there.
Get it, mama, get it.
But after that, we went back to our room.
We had planned originally on coming back to the room, getting our naps in, taking a shower, getting around, and going to the main dining hall tonight for dinner. But actually what happened was we came back to the room and I crashed out. I mean, like, done. To the world. Adric was watching a little bit of TV and he ended up falling asleep. James did not nap, which we were very concerned about, but it ended up being okay. He maintained.
I left the room, and we're already so far away from Falmouth. was on deck 5, the back. The track is all the way at the back of the ship. Beautiful sail away. The rest of this cruise will be at sea. Mama wanted something to drink. She said, wake me up with a drink. So I did.
He brought me back a very, very, very good margarita.
We'll nurse you back into party mode.
So I woke up and drank my margarita.
Sip. Bring you back to life.
And I took a shower. I got around. And Adric reluctantly woke up. But
The night is young. Don't go anywhere. Yeah. So we left the room. We were originally going to go to main dining. Something happened. Didn't end up going to main dining. Instead,
ate dinner at the Windjammer.
we'll just go to the Windjammer, get some quick in and out, hang out for a little while before our show starts, and then go to our show that we have reserved. Tonight was Caribbean night. We walked right in, claimed a table, went up, filled our plates up with food. Adric, he said he wasn't too hungry, so he just got some pork and some watermelon.
I loved like sliced bread. So I got some baguette and they had like flavored butters and that was really, really good. My salad was great. I just kind of went light today. I didn't get anything too heavy.
I got some jerk chicken, the dark Caribbean style rice, chicken empanada. They had beef empanadas there too. They had much more than what I grabbed. I just kind of filled up my plate with some Caribbean food and that was off.
It was okay. Yeah, it was what you would expect for buffet food.
It was quick and easy. Plenty of options. If you didn't want Caribbean, there was something for everyone there at the buffet.
The tea was really good. I got the tea and that tea was great. Adric got Jello. He said the Jello was good.
But yeah, I could see how that buffet could get a little crowded because it wasn't the largest. Nothing to write home about. But then again, it wasn't bad. I can't say it was bad. You know, the buffet.
After we finished up at the Windjammer, it was time for us to just kind of go explore things that we haven't seen yet. So we went to the Spotlight Karaoke.
That's a cool little karaoke bar.
That was fun. Lots of brave kids up there. Mainly 3 little girls, but they were so cute.
We couldn't find a spot to sit, so we just kind of stood there and watched. Just kind of killing time before our show started, right?
But yeah, we went over after that to Bolero's, and they had a jazz band, but we watched that for a little while. People were getting out on the dance floor, having a great time. Just a nice little relaxing party area there at Bolero's. And their bar is right there as well, just a hop-in bar.
We had reserved a spot at Studio B, so
So it was time for us to go to Frozen in Time, the ice skating show that we had booked.
we headed over to Studio B for the Frozen in Time show. You could purchase some popcorn before you went in, and they had beverages. Now, after we sat down, we were told there was no bar service during the show. So if you know that you're going to want some kind of drink, water, anything, make sure you get your beverages purchased before you go in that show.
We did have reservations, but there was a line that was very long to get in. I do believe everybody got in because there were lots of seats available yet.
The ice skating rink looks much smaller than what it did when we had the laser tag set up earlier in the day, but looked really cool. I couldn't wait to see this show.
But people were saving entire rows for their families. I find that kind of annoying. Like, we went to walk down a row and she goes, excuse me, I'm saving all of these seats right here. I'm like, you're literally saving an entire row because she had the beginning and her other family member had the other side where they were saving the entire row. Good for them, but it's also kind of rude in my eyes.
What?
So we sat and watched a very good show.
It was like the best show ever.
Man, these people are so talented. I wish I could move like that. I can barely ice skate, so yeah, super cool.
I think the best part of that entire show, though, was the sand lady. When she went out there and she was doing her sand art, I mean, you could see what she was making up on the board. It was amazing. You were basically like guessing what she was making, and then in the end, it was like gorgeous. I was so impressed. But yeah, I thought the show was great, kept you entertained. The music was great.
This show was probably our second favorite show.
The Aqua show was my first.
Aqua show was awesome. If you haven't seen that video, go check that video out, okay?
I think the Aqua show's number 1. This is right behind it. So we'll see how Cats comes into play tomorrow night. But yeah, so far so good on the entertainment.
Wasn't gonna do it. Once again, ending the night at Sorrento's Pizza.
I don't think anybody was really hungry, but it was just I had to do it. I felt like I needed a piece of pizza.
I guess this is gonna be a theme. I feel like this was the theme for Explorer of the Seas too. We always ended the night as Sorrento's Pizza. So fast, get in, you can get in there, grab some pizza and go. And that's what we've been doing. We went there, we got some waters. And in the night, they had a Caribbean night thing, some like a dance party thingy going on down in the Royal Promenade. When we were at Sorrento's, we'd been up way too late on all the other nights, so our idea was, get to bed, get some good rest, because we got 2 more sea days. 2 sea days back to back, and this cruise is over. So we're gonna try to experience as much as we can in these next 2 sea days, and there is so much more that we have not done. We haven't even done the main dining yet. We got 1 more show scheduled for the cruise.
I do have Cats booked at 8:15.
Brandy can't wait to see that. I'm not sure. It's a long one.
Adric was very upset when he found out that we were doing Cats tomorrow night because he thought they were real cats and not people dressed up as cats. So we're gonna go to it, but it is a full 1.5 hour show. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow night.
Brandy and Adric, tomorrow morning, they want to make it down to Johnny Rockets because Johnny Rockets serves breakfast for free.
We keep missing Johnny Rockets, so we're gonna give it another shot tomorrow.
But I think tomorrow is going to be their day.
We haven't been to the main dining hall for dinner or breakfast. They do serve breakfast there as well. And then there's ice skating on the ship. So there's times for ice skating. We haven't got to do that yet. The slides, Mama's doing the slides tomorrow. That is happening.
So yeah, follow along. We got more videos coming. Subscribe to the channel for more. And if you really like what you see, tap the like for more algo recommendations. And we'll see you in the next one.